All right, folks, this is Xeric, and everybody got it wrong. Everybody except for me got it wrong. I wasn't going to make a video about this because, you know, everyone's making a video about it, obviously. And I was like, yeah, they'll be fine. But then I watched a couple of videos and I got it wrong. And I was like, huh? And out of curiosity, I started watching other videos, clicking through it, and everybody got it wrong. Literally, everyone from a few hundred subscribers to near 1 million subscribers, they're all getting it wrong. And don't worry, I'm here to help you and teach you about this Greninja, give you some possible Pokemon that will help you out, and more importantly, tell you what Greninja can't do. Okay, that's the most important thing, what he can't do. And you can build around what he can't do. And if that isn't enough, don't worry, I will be helping people when Greninja comes out. I help people beat Cinderace, I help people beat Charizard. You know, I'll make spare Pokemon that I can loan people to. It'll be fine. I'll help tons of people through it, even if you don't get a Pokemon ready in time. But if you do get one of the Pokemon I recommend, but you still need help, you can skip ahead in line if you can prove you got that Pokemon and you got them up to level 100 and all that stuff. So hey, join me when Greninja comes out and I'll help you beat him. So let's take a look at this. That's not right. So we're gonna skip all this Mightiest Mark stuff. You know what that says. You know what that says. We're gonna scroll right down to this part right here. Strong foes make powerful allies in battle against Greninja. During this event, you may encounter Bronzong, Lucario in 4- and 5-star Tera battles. The Tera types of the Bronzong and Lucario will vary, and if you catch them, they'll make powerful teammates in battle against Greninja with the Mightiest Mark. If you paid attention to what that said, then you'll know that everyone who's made videos about this is just wrong. So this is what they're all wrong about. Right here. They're like, he's gonna have Night Slash, or maybe he's gonna have Dark Pulse. Greninja's a dark type Pokemon, so they're just assuming naturally he's gonna have dark type moves. But will he have dark type moves? Will he? Let's take a look at something real quick. This was the Cinderace event. These are his moves: High Jump, Pyro Ball, Acrobats, and Iron Head. Do any of those crit Gengar? As you can see, Gengar is weak to ground, ghost, physical, and dark. We have Gyarados. Does any of Cinderace's moves crit Gyarados? Let's find out. Weak to electric and rock. Maybe it was just a fluke. How about the Charizard event? We have Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Hurricane, and Focus Blast. Do any of those moves crit Florges or Mimikyu? Florges only gets hurt by Poison and Steel. Well, 2 times damage from Poison and Steel. And Mimikyu only gets hit by Ghost and Steel. Notice a pattern. So let's take a look at Bronzong. Bronzong is Psychic and Steel. 2 times weakness from Dark. Now, do you think that the Pokemon Company would think that a Pokemon who is 2 times weak to Dark would be a good pick against Dark? And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Bronzong, maybe he has some sort of immunity to Dark somehow that I don't know about. Like, I don't see it here. I control F Dark. I don't see any Dark resistance immunity abilities in his moveset. Maybe he has it and I don't know. It's some kind of secret hidden mechanic that I don't know about. But Bronzong is gonna get destroyed by Dark type moves. So why would they recommend him if they're gonna use Dark type moves? Also, let's talk about Dark type moves. So he's gonna be Poison, right? The thing about Poison is if we take a look at this damage type calculator and we see what Poison is weak against. Poison is only weak against Psychic and Ground. Well, let's take a look at something. We have Dark does double damage to Psychic, and Water does double damage to Ground. That is odd. That means that he has no coverage. That kind of thing would be good in a competitive scene, but they want to... He's covered too well. They're gonna want to leave one weakness for you to exploit, and that weakness is the fact that he doesn't hit Psychic. So what we're looking at here is, okay, so you're gonna be able to tell what moves are off limits to him based on the weaknesses of Lucario and Bronzong. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this damage place again to go ahead and represent that. So he does double damage to Bronzong. So he's not going to be doing dark damage. He's not going to be doing fighting type style damage because that would hurt both of them. He's not going to be doing ground damage because that would hurt both of them. He's not going to be doing fire damage because that would hurt both of them. Did I say fighting would hurt both? I meant one. And lastly, he's not going to be doing ghost damage because that would hurt them as well. Or hurt one of them. So these 5 damage types are off limits. They're off limits based on the teammates that are being recommended by Nintendo themselves. So bringing in a psychic type Pokemon is perfectly fine, which leads me to the number 1 most likely perfectly fine pick, and that is the good old Slowbro. That's right, the Slowbro that everyone built for the last raid probably is gonna work just fine. That Slowbro build where you use Psychic and destroy them is most likely gonna work just fine. It depends on how much damage he does. You might need to switch out your moveset slightly to resist against special attack rather than just normal defense, but we'll see. Like I said, once we get there, we'll be making small adjustments. What you'll want to do is build these Pokemon to level 100 just in case, right? So first off, if you want to cover as many bases as possible, then so these are going to be the Pokemon I recommend to you in the order I recommend here. Don't worry about everything else. Just get them to level 100 to begin with, and then when Greninja comes out, then we'll worry about movesets and EV training. You might not even need to EV train the Pokemon. Like last raid, I did a demonstration where I did not EV train a Slowbro. I captured a fresh Slowbro. He had the worst type of nature possible for that raid. He had no held item and he had no EVs, and I still was able to beat him. You don't necessarily need to EV train him, but you're gonna have to have him at level 100, and then we'll determine whether or not we have to EV train him and stuff when he comes out. But for right now, these are the Pokemon that I suggest you build. And if you build these, not only will they help against this Pokemon raid, but they'll help in other raids in the future possibly. So first off, go with Slowbro. Slowbro is probably an extremely safe bet still. I do not believe he's going to have a dark type attack, okay? I don't believe it. And that's because Pokemon themselves, the Pokemon Company, is recommending Bronzor, who is weak to dark. That would be very silly. The second one I recommend you capture and build to level 100 is a Bronzor. Also, make sure you get a Lucario. Get the 2 Pokemon that it's recommending, and you'll probably be fine as long as you get to them to level 100. Bronzor is probably going to be more of a support, and Lucario is going to be more of an offensive type. After that, I think there's a lot of Pokemon that probably are going to work pretty well, such as Vaporeon. If you get a Vaporeon and you get them to level 100, that's going to work out really well for you. A Clodsire at level 100, same thing. You'll probably be a good support and help out your team quite a bit. But there's a few others that might end up working as well, and maybe you already have them at level 100, or maybe they might not work though. The further down on this list, the more scattershot it's getting, such as Umbreon, Garchomp, Quagsire instead of Clodsire. He's a little bit more offensive, so Quagsire might work. Klefki, probably a pretty good support right there. And King Gambit. Did I say Tinkaton? I meant I believe I did. These are all possible Pokemon that are going to be pretty good. But my recommendation is if you just go with this, if you get yourself a Slowbro. Oh, and Toxicroak. Why didn't I say Toxicroak? So Slowbro, Bronzor, Lucario, Toxicroak, Vaporeon, Clodsire. If you have all these, at least one of these is going to clap booty cheeks. You're gonna beat them. At least one of them. And notice that that's 6 Pokemon, all right? So you capture all 6 of those Pokemon, you put all 6 of them in your party, and you level up all 6 of them at the same time. Just do the good old trick that we all do and we all know and love. I'll go ahead and show it to you. After that, it's up to you if you want to keep leveling up Pokemon. Fluttermane probably might work depending on if he's going to be a physical attacker or a special attacker. If he's a special attacker, then Fluttermane will just clap them booty cheeks. Azumarill might work. Garchomp might work. Klefki, Umbreon are probably both going to be good supports. Tinkaton might work. Kingambit might work. There's a lot of Pokemon who might work, but like I said, you can't go wrong if you have these 6 Pokemon at level 100. It doesn't matter their EVs, it doesn't matter their natures, it doesn't matter whatever you got on their moves or anything like that. The day he comes out, that's when we'll worry about that. That's when we'll go, oh, you need to have this move equipped, you need to have this nature, and go ahead and start training these EVs, and then you're set. And you can do all that in one day, so you'll be perfectly fine. The most important thing is to catch these 6 Pokemon, get them all to level 100, and it's gonna make your life so much easier. As you can see, I went ahead and went out and captured all 6 of the Pokemon I'm talking about. I don't have Slowbro on my team because I already have a shiny 100 Slowbro, so I just put a Fluttermane there. Why not? So yeah, I already have all 6 Pokemon I was talking about, and I don't use candies. And because I don't use candies, I like to make the sandwich instead. And you got your good old-fashioned ham sandwich here. 1 pickle, 1 ham, 1 mayonnaise, 1 mustard. There's faster ways to level up than this, but this is brain dead. It's not really that involved. You could watch a podcast. You can watch my streams while doing this. So yeah, this is very easy, very easy. And the fastest method is going to be to farm for candy when the next raid comes up. But you don't need to do that necessarily. You can get all these guys to level 100 before then, or at the very least get them into the 90s when they start getting a little bit harder to level up. And then when the next Tera raid comes out, where they're doing the 5-star Tera raid event, just farm a few of those and use some candy to max them out. But for me, like I said, I don't like to use candy. I sell my candy. When my candy gets to 999, I sell my leftover candy. So I gotta level all these bad boys up to 100 before the event hits. As you can see, I have a ton of leftover candy, 526 extra large. Bro, I could level, how many, you know how many Pokemon I could get to level 100 with that? I got 212 rare candies alone. And the large candies I have sold down to 1 like so many times. I've maxed out large candies so many times helping people do these Tera raids. I don't use candies. I don't like to use candies to level up. I don't know what it is. It's just a me thing. Obviously, I got nothing against anybody else who does it. It's just a me thing, okay? So the main thing about farming chances is you got to make sure that in your lead Pokemon specifically has a physical attack move that does decent damage, because you're not going to defeat Chansey with a special attacker. And this Lucario should be strong enough now to one-shot Chansey whenever I hit him with his physical move. As you can see, there it goes, very easy. So I'm gonna get a level almost every single battle. I'm gonna learn a new move all the time, but you can forget all the moves. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big a deal because you can relearn them whenever you want, except for Lucario and the move Indoor, but that's a big thing. Like, there's no real need to talk about that. You don't need that move. It'll be fine. That move is not going to be useful in Tera raids. So yeah, that's basically it. I just go around from Pokemon to Pokemon, defeating them, learning new moves, looking at the new things. Like, meh, don't need that, so not learning it. Feel free to throw a lucky egg on whichever Pokemon you want to level up the fastest. Lucario is going to be the best physical attacker right now at this, so I threw the lucky egg on him so I can get him high enough level to beat these Chanseys and one-shot them to make this as quick as possible. And the great thing about this is that Chanseys also give you HP EVs, and you normally can't go wrong with HP EVs during Tera raids. Sometimes you can now, sometimes you're going to have to get rid of those HP EVs, but for the most part, HP EVs are going to actually be useful. As you can see, I started increasing my HP EVs right there. Now, if you already know what you want your Pokemon to be, right? Like, say, I know for sure already that I want my Fluttermane to be a special attack Pokemon. What you can do then is, while you're doing this, you can be EV training on other stats. So if I give him a special attack bracer, not only will I get HP EVs every time I defeat a Chansey, but he'll also get an additional 10 special attack EVs. So for those Pokemon who you already know for sure the way you want to build their EVs, making sure you buy those items from one of the shops in the making sure you buy one of those items from the Delibird, I believe it is, shop in the main town. I'll actually show you where it is just in case you don't happen to know. But if we go over here and we take a look, you probably can't notice the difference. Let me fight a few more, and that way you can actually tell that it's working. There you go. As you can see now, it's going up on the special attack and on the HP at the same time. So I'll go ahead and show you where you can buy these things in the shops, just in case you already know how you want to build your Pokemon. So if you go to the Mesagoza West Pokestop, all right, so from the Mesagoza West Pokestop, just head over here. Just head straight to the west side. So you're heading straight from the west towards the gate, and you'll see this Delibird shop along the way. And as long as you have a few gym badges, there they are. You can buy all these. Just buy whichever one you feel like you need. I'll get a second power lens. Why not? So, yeah. Hopefully that helped. Anyone who tells you exactly what the build that you're going to need to beat Greninja right now, they don't know, actually. But you can, at the very least, get a few good Pokemon. And Lucario, Clodsire, Toxicroak, Bronzor, Vaporeon, and also our bad boy Slowbro here. All great options for beating this Greninja, most likely. It is extremely unlikely that if you have all of these Pokemon to level 100, that at least one of them isn't going to be chef's kiss perfect for destroying Greninja. So thank you guys very much for coming. I hope to see you guys on the next video. And the day Greninja drops, I will be making a video explaining what Pokemon and what builds of the ones that you leveled up are going to be the best. So have a nice one, everyone. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to like the video, because apparently I'm the only channel who figured out that he won't have a dark type attack. Weird. Why would they recommend Bronzong if he has a dark type attack? That's just silly. Anyways, have a nice one, everyone. Bye.